I'm gonna be sharing my experience so far, really locking in on taking control back of my life, giving you guys a real raw look at what my experience has been like. What's good, y'all? Alex here, back again with another video. I know we all love to see the videos on YouTube from people saying they've transformed their life in 6 months or they've transformed their life in 90 days, and it has this really cool storyline showing where they were at when they were a loser, when they were hopeless, when they were out of shape. And then at the end of the video, they're just in the best shape of their life and everything has changed mentally. They're just so much more confident and have so much more friends and yada, 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 yada. I'm gonna give y'all just my raw, real experience on what it's been like for me. That way you guys can go into your journey knowing what the real is and not just expecting some fairy tale. So first, just to let you guys know, some things that I wanted to change about myself was one, my physique. I'm somebody that's always struggled with how I look in the mirror. I'm in decent shape, but growing up, I was a really skinny guy. I used to get teased as a kid growing up. I used to get called bobblehead when I was in elementary school because when I shot a basketball, I had to put all my force into my jump shot and my head would bobble, and that nickname just stuck with me. And then going into middle school and high school, I used to get teased all the time just for how small I was. I wanna say I was 4'11" my freshman year of high school, probably weighed 100 pounds. And even when I graduated high school, I grew about a foot. I grew up to be 5'11", but I was only 130 pounds. I was still really small, really skinny. And that really did something to me mentally just over the years, just constantly hearing myself get rejected by girls for being too skinny, or constantly even being made fun of by the guys for just being too small. I wasn't no lame. I get thrown in the trash. Like, I wasn't one of those small dudes that just, you know, was getting picked on, thrown in the trash or getting swirlied or stuff like that. Like, none of that stuff happened. I was still cool. Like, I still played basketball. I was still cool with everybody. But hearing those things on a regular basis really stuck with me. I'd been on this journey really since I was 18, 19 years old to transform my body, but I always failed. One of the reasons why I always failed was, for one, I was never really tracking my lifts and trying to push myself in the gym as hard as I needed to, but also I never really knew how many calories I needed to eat in a day, and two, I never actually tracked my calories on a consistent basis. So that's the biggest thing that I've improved on so far over these last 30 days, is getting my nutrition and my fitness on point. Now, before I keep going, let me go ahead and preface this by saying I do have a coach. I do have a mentor. I have somebody who has everything laid out on what I need to do on a daily basis. So it's really laid out for me. All I have to do is just follow the instructions step by step and do exactly what he tells me to do. And I've seen some good results so far. I've been in the gym consistently over the past month. I've gone from weighing 160 pounds when I first started to currently weighing 167 pounds, and this is in a 5-week span. The biggest thing that's helped me out with this is the nutrition. Everybody says that when it comes to fitness or your body, nutrition is 80% and the gym is 20%. Now that I know how much I need to eat, I need to be taking in 3,700 calories per day. I know my protein amount. I need to be hitting 200 grams of protein, if not even more. And tracking that on my fitness has been huge for me because it lets me know, okay, this is exactly where you're at throughout the day, Alex. As you get used to doing it on a day-to-day basis, things get a lot easier. You know, it's not as hard to go ahead and weigh my food now as it was when I first started. I've been able to see a lot of improvements in my lifts. My arms have gotten a lot stronger. My legs have gotten a lot stronger, and that's one of my weakest body parts. My standard will be in the next 6 months to be lifting 225 pounds and squatting 225 pounds, and I'm well on my way to doing that now. That just wouldn't be able to happen if, one, again, I didn't have that mentor. I didn't have somebody to guide me, but two, I didn't stay disciplined enough to actually stay with the routine on a day in and day out basis. It can be hard when it comes to fitness to stick with it, especially if you don't like it. Thankfully, I love going to the gym. I think that's the easiest part of my day, actually, with everything that I'm doing. But if you guys are somebody who doesn't like going to the gym or struggles with counting your calories or tracking everything, I think you guys just have to have a deep enough why. I know what life is like when I'm not tracking my calories. I know what life is like when I'm not going to the gym consistently, and I know how that makes me feel. What would life be like if I just tried to do the opposite and I did give that a fair shot for 6 months? And what if I did see if my life could actually change? That's been a good mindset that I've adopted with some of the other things that I'm going to talk about, but that might be something that can help you guys if you struggle with that. The next thing that I want to talk to you guys about in how I've been working to just become the best version of myself and reinvent myself is YouTube. I'm someone who has been making YouTube videos for about 7 to 8 years now, but I've never been consistent with it. It's always been on and off, on and off. I did have one stretch in 2023 where I was very, very consistent. I saw my channel grow a pretty decent amount, at least for a small YouTuber. I went from having around 200-300 subscribers to having 1,000 subscribers in a relatively short amount of time, just from posting vlogs, posting some tips about saving money, and overall just giving you guys an inside look at how I'm growing on a daily basis. Once I got laid off, I stopped making YouTube videos because I was embarrassed to look at myself in the camera. I told my mentor, I said, yo, I want to lock in. I want to get back on YouTube. I want to be able to have 10,000 subscribers. I want to be able to launch my own YouTube community. I want to be able to inspire people around the world. Okay, I'm going to give you a game plan on how you can do that. And this is going to be your standard. This is going to be a non-negotiable. You're going to have no choice but to do this on a daily basis. And I listened to what he said. He said, you need to be recording 4 videos a week. I said, okay. He said, you need to start posting shorts every single day. I've never posted shorts in my life, but I said, okay, let me go ahead and listen to him. Like, let me just do it. I've made this a part of my non-negotiables. I've made a promise to myself. I've made a promise to him. I have to go ahead and do it and just see what happens. I've been doing it. I've been making the YouTube videos again. And to be honest with you guys, you know, the views haven't really been there. If I'm just keeping it a stack, you know, I was getting more views back in the day than I am now. While the old me that would have made me want to quit, new me now, having that standard, having that idea that no matter what, I can't control how many people watch the videos, but I can control the output that I have, how much I can get these videos pushed out. That's what I'm going to focus on. That's going to be what you guys want to focus on as well. Whether you are a new creator just starting out, I know how tough it can be putting out your first video or putting out your first 5 videos and you still see that you only got 1 view and it was probably from your mom or from your best friend. Or you post on social media, hey, I just started my YouTube channel, and you see nobody subscribes. Or if anything, they talk about you and say, yo, you want to actually do this? Those are the same thoughts and feelings that I've had, but I've learned over these last 30 days that ultimately, who cares what people think? For one, who cares what people think? But 2, once people actually see you taking it serious, for the most part, they're gonna actually respect you, and oftentimes they will subscribe. They often question if you can actually do it, if you're serious, but then once they see that hunger in you, they start to believe just as you believe. I was somebody who in the past was scared to talk about my YouTube. I was scared to share on Instagram that I was making YouTube videos. I was scared to tell people about it because I had a small channel. Me now, I let it be known I am a YouTuber. I don't look at it as I'm trying to do YouTube. I look at it as YouTube is a part of my identity. But I never would have gotten to that point if I wasn't making these videos every single day, if I wasn't making these shorts every single day. So you guys need to do that too. I'm gonna say it again, focus on getting the videos out there, focus on perfecting the craft. And you know, I'm working on YouTube today, I'm working on YouTube today, I'm working on YouTube today. It's thumbnails, it's edits, it's shorts, great topics that people want to see. And over time, things will start to flow a lot more smoother. You guys look back and look at my videos a month ago, I was so depressed, I was so uncomfortable, I felt so nervous just talking to you guys. But over the last 4 weeks, as I've just continued to do it, I feel so much more confident. I feel like I can talk to you guys like I'm talking to you on FaceTime. And although the output hasn't been how I've wanted it to be, obviously being consistent on YouTube for a few weeks, I'd like to have more subscribers. I'd like to look and see the AdSense be higher. But you know, sometimes you have to take a step back and realize, man, I've been consistent on YouTube for 3 weeks and I've gained 35 subscribers so far. My shorts are getting over 1,000 views. You have to look at it as those are the small wins. Those are the things that you can look back and say, wow, was I doing that 3 months ago? Was I doing that a year ago? Was I putting in that type of effort before? So that's been the biggest thing for me, is learning to shift my identity into I am a YouTuber and not just I want to do YouTube. And none of that would happen if I didn't take the action to record and work on my craft every single day. So whatever you guys want to do, whatever hobby or new career, whatever it is that you're looking to get into, you know, come in with that mindset that I'm going to work on getting better. I'm not going to focus on the result. It's not going to happen overnight. Next thing I want to talk about, and this is something that's really underrated, I feel like, is reading. I'm somebody who's been on and off for reading majority of my life. But one of my standards when it comes to creating the new reality I want and making my own transformation is reading at least 10 pages every single day. And in reading those 10 pages, I feel like I've gained so much knowledge and so much more clarity on life and how life works compared to where I was at before when I was using the time that could be spent reading, just watching TV. I feel like I've really started to become a man moving with purpose, a man who knows what it is that he wants. I feel like I've no longer became a drifter. If you've ever read the book Outwitting the Devil before by Napoleon Hill, you know all about what being a drifter is and how 98% of the world is stuck being a drifter. 98% of the world is stuck in hypnotic rhythm. They just keep doing the same things on a day-to-day basis, not really have an idea of what they want out of life. They only consume content. They don't ever create content. They don't have a relationship with the Lord. Just, look around. There's plenty of people I'm sure that fit the description that I'm saying. I know because that's been me for a long time. But in reading these books on a consistent basis, my mindset has shifted so much. I've learned so much about stepping out of my comfort zone. I've learned so much about being patient. I've learned so much about practicing that delayed gratification. I've learned so much about habit stacking. All of these things that we have access to that we don't take advantage of. When you guys are starting your journey, make sure you guys are reading on a consistent basis. If you can read 10 pages a day, it doesn't seem like a lot, but over a month, that's 300 pages. Some of the books that I've read so far that have helped me a lot have been Outwitting the Devil, as I just mentioned, by Napoleon Hill. Right now, I'm reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a You-Know-What by Mark Manson. Those two books alone have just taught me so much about not falling into the traps that majority of the people fall into. I'm really enjoying reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving a You-Know-What, I'm not going to say it, because I'm somebody who's constantly always cared what people have thought. I've always cared about, how people view my videos. I've always cared about getting negative comments or filming in public. And just reading these books and taking in that knowledge has really instilled in my mind, who cares? Who cares what these people think? They're not paying your bills. They're not contributing to your career, what you have going on in any type of way. Why are you letting these people dictate how you move? That's something that I challenge you guys to do, is read. That might help you, because I'm sure you guys probably are like me and worry about, what will this person think? As you read these books, it's almost like it just becomes ingrained in you, and you don't let that fear stop you anymore. Like, it's still there, but you just feel a lot more confident in doing it regardless. You feel a lot more confident in accepting the hate comments, or you feel a lot more confident in dealing with the rejection. You don't let those things get to you the way they used to. I don't know how to explain it, you guys. You just change. Your mindset just shifts. But once I actually started reading and studying what I'm reading and actually applying what I'm reading right then and there, it's like I've seen a huge change in progress. And lastly, I want to just talk about setting the example. I've been able, with making these changes, to set a better example, not only for myself, obviously, but for my friends. My friends have started to work on their discipline. They've started to work on not falling into bad habits themselves. I've been able to influence my girl. My girl has started going to the gym now on her own. From being motivated and seeing me do my thing, she's been more motivated to start eating healthy herself. I've spoken to people on Instagram who have been inspired and wanted to start pursuing their dreams and their passions. And all that has came from me taking the first step, being vulnerable enough to share my dreams and what I'm looking to accomplish with you guys and with the world, but also staying consistent with that and showing people that I am serious. When people see that you are serious about your craft, it's like they get another level of respect for you. It's like they go from judging you and thinking, dang, he can't do that, or he's gonna fold, or he's just gonna be a lame like everyone else, to, dang, I respect what he's doing. Like, I respect the fact that he's trying to do something with his life and make a difference. I've really noticed those changes and felt like I'm already touching people, in a really dope way. I didn't even talk about finances too much in this video, so I guess I will go ahead and touch on that real quick. I did want to start making $10,000 per month, and believe it or not, I was able to close my first loan in my mortgage business. Well, we're in process. It's gonna close at the end of this month, but I'm also a mortgage broker on the side from my 9 to 5, and I hadn't closed a deal before. In the 8 months I have been a broker, I had never seen any results. And over these last 30 days, I was able to not only have someone who believed in me, trusted me enough to get them the best rate possible, especially in this housing market. But I was able to provide her with a smooth closing process, no problems. I was confident. I answered all her questions, handled all the issues that were thrown our way, and now I'm helping somebody change their life and move into their dream home and be a first-time home buyer. And that brought me just so much joy and just so much fulfillment. And it also got me a nice paycheck too. Everything that I want is slowly, and again, it is slowly. So I want to make sure I'm clear with you guys when I say that this isn't something where life is just going to change overnight. 21 days you might see some, 28 days you might see some, 35 days you might start to see a little bit of progress. But if you put in that work on a day in and day out basis, you start to just align with who you are before the reality changes. And it's the most beautiful thing, you guys. If you don't take anything from this video, please, please, please go ahead and take that first step. Go ahead and just try. Remind yourself, you know what it's like to go through the motions of starting and stopping, starting and stopping. What would life look like if you just kept going and didn't give up? I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. I will come back and give more of these updates, these just raw, real updates for you guys, sharing my experience, the ups and the downs. Let me know down in the comments how you guys feel about your own journey. If there's anything that you guys have struggled with, go ahead and let me know. And I will see you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.